killer and the personal fight
My niece is gonna be his next sacrifice.
to save the only family he has left.
I can't lose another person to your game.
The Player, all new, next Thursday after The Blacklist on NBC, and get the NBC app.
Monday and Tuesday, get excited on a whole new level. 8-time Grammy winner Rihanna joins The Voice.
I want you to be just lost in the music.
That was entertaining to watch you.
The Voice with Rihanna, new Monday and Tuesday on NBC and get the NBC app. On The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Andy Samberg drops by. NBC Tonight.
Your one news source. This is NewsCenter1.
Good evening, I'm Shad Olson. This is NewsCenter1 at 10. An American commando has died freeing dozens of hostages in Iraq. It was the first death of a U.S. serviceman in Iraq in 4 years. NBC's Richard Engel reports tonight on the U.S. role in this dramatic rescue.
The raid was supposed to rescue Kurdish hostages like these, held by ISIS in cages. U.S. intelligence had learned they were about to be executed. So when the Kurds, Washington's closest allies in Iraq, asked for help rescuing them, U.S. forces agreed. At 2 a.m., American special ops and Kurdish forces in 5 U.S. helicopters headed for the town of Hawija, landing near an ISIS prison on the outskirts of town. Sources say ISIS had already dug mass graves for their hostages. Kurdish troops stormed in. About 20 ISIS guards inside fought back. So the U.S. troops, there to assist, guard the perimeter, and communicate with U.S. aircraft above, decided to step in to protect, the Pentagon says, their Kurdish allies and the hostages. About 15 ISIS guards were killed, but not before, the U.S. military says, an ISIS fighter shot one American commando, so far unidentified, who later died of his injuries. When the fight was over, the Americans and Kurds loaded the freed hostages, 75 of them according to U.S. officials, and at least 5 captured ISIS guards on the helicopters and left.
The hostages turned out not to be Kurds. Around 20 were kidnapped Iraqi security forces. Others included so-called ISIS defectors. Still, the U.S. military is calling the raid a huge success because of the number of lives saved in one of the biggest hostage rescues anywhere in recent memory. But the operation also shows that U.S. forces are doing a lot more than just advising in the war on ISIS. In this case, they were in close combat, had to come to the aid of their allies at the cost of one American life. Richard Engel, NBC News, Istanbul.
In other news tonight, President Barack Obama is striking down a sweeping defense policy bill today, the same day that U.S. Senator Mike Rounds and Congresswoman Kristi Noem talked about why the National Defense Authorization Act for this year is so important to this country and to South Dakota. Toward the beginning of October, Congress passing the $612 billion defense appropriations bill called the National Defense Authorization Act. While the president says that the bill does a number of good things, he also says that it falls woefully short in other areas and that it, quote, resorts to gimmicks. The bill, including some important amendments from Senator Mike Rounds himself, outlining cyber defense and managing the acquisition of the new long-range strike bomber. Those next-generation bombers would slowly replace both the aging B-1 and B-52 fleets, like those here at Ellsworth. As to whether those important amendments could be passed outside of the Defense Act, that is so far unclear.
At this stage, it depends on whether or not there's a vehicle that we can use. The National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, is the appropriate vehicle for making those types of recommendations. If the president does veto it, as he's indicated that he will, then the first thing we'll try to do is override the veto. We don't know whether or not we have the votes in the House to get that done. If it comes to the Senate, it's a pretty good chance that we've got the votes to override in the Senate.
Congresswoman Noem echoing the senator's remarks today, saying that the House needs to come together to defeat that presidential veto.
I'm hopeful that we'll have the votes to override it, but I want you all to know that what he is doing is dangerous. The National Defense Authorization Act provides the resources and the authorizations that our military needs to take action to keep us safe. This bill increases their pay, protects their retirement benefits, and actually improves them. It gives us better resources to defeat ISIL. It makes sure that we're addressing sexual assault in the military as well, and the president is holding this bill hostage.
Senator Thune also sending out a statement on the veto, saying it jeopardizes funding for the long-range strike bomber and readiness for the B-1 bombers that are based at Ellsworth Air Force Base. That veto now forces Congress to either revise the bill or try to settle a larger budget dispute that led Obama to veto it in the first place. In a long-awaited hearing that could affect who becomes our next president, former Secretary of State and 2016 candidate Hillary Clinton finally testifying about the deadly attack on Americans in Benghazi, Libya. Investigators tried to discover how 4 Americans died during her watch 3 years ago. That hearing beginning this morning and continuing into the evening. NBC's Andrea Mitchell is covering it for NBC.
It was supposed to be about Benghazi, but it soon dissolved into bickering.
I don't care if he sent it by Morse code, carrier pigeon, smoke signals. What is relevant is that he was sending information to the Secretary of State.
Would the gentleman yield?
I'll be happy to, but you need to make sure the entire record is correct, Mr. Cummings.
And that's exactly what I want to do.
Well, then go ahead.
While they argued, the star witness tried to stay above the fray. Unlike in 2013,
what difference at this point does it make?
This time Hillary Clinton was poised, practiced, pushing back with put-downs.
I wrote a whole chapter about this in my book, Hard Choices. I'd be glad to send it to you, Congressman. I'm sorry that it doesn't fit your narrative, Congressman. I can only tell you what the facts were. Now, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
At other times, her face said it all, laughing off unwelcome suggestions, showing impatience, irritation, or scorn, reflecting days of preparation at home, sent off to battle this morning by her husband, Bill. The Republicans were also armed and ready.
Happy to bring breakfast in, but when we ask a yes or no question, it'd sure be helpful if we could get to the answer. It wasn't a trick question at all.
They were concerned, that is the White House, of the amount of credit that you were getting as opposed to the amount of credit the president's getting. That's true, isn't it, Madam Secretary?
Look, the president deserves the lion's share of the credit.
And why is the White House uptight that you're taking the credit?
And a fierce dispute over a controversial former Clinton political aide, Sidney Blumenthal, barred by the Obama White House from working at her State Department, but sending private advice about Libya to her private email account.
And Madam Secretary, he had unfettered access to you.
I don't know what this line of questioning does to help us get to the bottom of the deaths of 4 Americans.
I'll be happy to help you understand that, Madam Secretary.
It was Clinton who spent the most time talking about the victims of the attack.
You know, I would imagine I've thought more about what happened than all of you put together. I've lost more sleep than all of you put together.
Information officer and Air Force veteran Sean Smith, CIA officers Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty, and Ambassador Chris Stevens.
I stood next to President Obama as Marines carried his casket and those of the other 3 Americans off the plane at Andrews Air Force Base.
And Secretary Clinton testifying that she never received a request for more security from Chris Stevens, the ambassador to Libya, although he made those requests to security leaders. But for all the talk about emails, Clinton said that she did most of her business offline in classified briefings and did not even have a computer in her State Department office. Calls for Congressman Paul Ryan to step up for Republicans have not gone unheard. Tonight, Ryan announcing that he is officially running for Speaker of the House. The Wisconsin representative sending a letter to members of the House Republican Conference informing them of his candidacy. That memo is Ryan's rallying cry to Republicans for a more conservative agenda and a unified GOP under his leadership. And here's a look at today's markets on Wall Street. And on this Thursday, a very good day for the Dow Jones, rising 321 points, 17,489 on the close. The Nasdaq rising significantly as well, up 80 points, 49.20. The S&P 500 up 34 to 2053, and gold holding fairly steady, up 60 cents today to $1,166.70 on this day of trade. A controversial Sturgis bypass proposal gets a massive dose of momentum today as the owner of the Buffalo Chip Campground pledges up to $1 million of his own money to pay for that project. That is, provided it is usable by next year's Sturgis rally. The controversial bypass, called Fort Meade Way, would provide easy access from the Chip to Interstate 90. In March, voters rejecting setting up a tax increment financing district to pay for the bypass. Opponents maintaining that the road would drain business and dollars from downtown Sturgis businesses. Bypass proponents continuing to say the new road would spur growth east of the city and that it would ease rally traffic, especially during rally concerts when Lizelle Street and Junction Avenue become virtually impassable. Those in favor of the bypass have formed an alliance now to help fund construction. The group including local residents, community leaders, ranchers, and Sturgis Rally supporters. The Meade County Commission has budgeted for part of the construction cost, but the development is projected to be $1 million short. Groups are now asking for help to get the new 4.5-mile scenic byway project over the finish line with one-time contributions that can be as little as $10. Construction of the roadway is estimated to begin in late November. The project is expected to be completed by summer of 2016, and the new road may be usable by July 25th, just in time for the rally, as Buffalo Chip owner Rod Woodruff is requiring in exchange for his efforts to push it along. It is a story that we first brought you weeks ago, the disbanding of the Spearfish Volunteer Fire Department. Now we have new information tonight. The Spearfish City Council authorizing Mayor Dana Boak to set up a task force to discuss future fire protection in the city. The Volunteer Fire Department announcing late last month that it is dissolving after 134 years of service to the Black Hills community. Leaders citing a lack of support and low morale among the ranks. The nonprofit will dissolve by the end of January. The task force will include some past and present members of the Volunteer Fire Department, along with city and Lawrence County leaders. Authorities say the task force will look at how other cities in the state are handling their fire protection and, quote, will move quite quickly to develop a plan for a replacement force in Spearfish. Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio joining us. We saw a little bit of fire danger yesterday, and pretty safe to say that not much of that happening today.
Not much today or tonight or tomorrow. For the next few days at least. Look at the radar and you can see what we're talking about. Of course, if you've been outside, you know what we're talking about. There's the rain. It's all moving on through. A little bit of a dry slot just to the south of Rapid City over southwestern South Dakota. That's all right. We're still expecting to see rain throughout the evening tonight into tomorrow morning because as that low moves to the east, those wraparound showers off to the west, they have to move across the Black Hills. So more rain tonight and early tomorrow morning, Shad.
Stuff in the queue.
Stuff in the queue.
Queued up and ready to go. We'll get more from Bob Riggio. He'll be queued up with your forecast in just a bit. And we're back with more news after the break, right around News Center 1 at 10.
This is News Center 1 with Shad Olson. Sports with Justin Wickersham. And weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
You know that floor you've been dreaming of for so long? Well, it's time to make it a reality because we're offering no interest for 24 months or savings of up to $500 on select Shaw floors now through November 9th during the Floor Now Save Today event. So stop imagining what could be and start making your home what it's meant to be.
At Carpet One, get carpet cushion and installation for one low price and 24 months no interest or $500 off select Shaw floors at Carpet One, Mount Rushmore Road, Rapid City.
South Dakota undergraduate students continue to find a high-quality education at Chadron State College, thanks to the Chadron State Eagle Rate. It's more affordable than ever to be a part of Chadron State's proud tradition. Find the major you want with CSC's outstanding on-campus and online programs. With a degree from CSC, you'll have the tools to succeed in your career. South Dakota students, take advantage of the Chadron State Eagle Rate today. Call 1-800-CHADRON or visit csc.edu.
During truck season at your local Ford stores, you can get an amazing deal on America's best-selling trucks. And behind the wheel of a Ford truck, things just get done. The work finished. Your cargo safe. The trip taken. The time to buy today. Now during truck season, get up to $95.61 in total savings on America's best-selling trucks for 38 years. Ford F-Series. Hurry in and save at your local Ford stores.
We're roaming, Wyoming, sun shining, wheels rolling, rivers flowing, it's mind-blowing. We're roaming, Wyoming.
Visit WyomingTourism.org for a whole calendar of fun summer events.
Now that we've added adjustable base, my favorite part is to be able to lift your legs up a little bit and it feels like I'm just cradled.
Change your sleep, change your life, change to Tempur-Pedic.
And right now at Simply Sleep Better, a Tempur-Pedic Elite retailer, get 4 years no interest and a $300 gift with purchase of a Tempur-Pedic set. Get your best night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic. Better prices, better advice. Simply Sleep Better, now at 2 locations by Rushmore Crossing and on Mount Rushmore Road, Rapid City.
It is a project that police say will create a safer neighborhood and a healthy community. Construction now underway in North Rapid City for a community garden. Inspired by the Lemon Avenue Garden developed by the Rapid City Police Department, the new garden, located behind the Career Learning Center, will soon be a point of pride for the North Rapid community. Local business owners and community members of all sorts have come together to get the project off the ground. Project coordinator Devani Crafton says that gardens like these get neighbors involved with each other to grow healthy food and make smart decisions. But there's another benefit as well.
So there is scientific research that shows when a community garden is instilled in a neighborhood, and this has been seen nationwide, crime rates drop off immediately. Once people are instilled and involved in their neighborhood, vandalism goes down, people are proud to be a part of their neighborhood, people don't want to destroy something beautiful that their friends and family have created. And so crime rates, we are looking at those to drop quickly.
Community members can rent garden beds next spring. Full project completion date is set for next fall. With the temperatures beginning to drop, keeping your animals safe is extremely important, as it is every winter. If you're feeling the effects of the colder temperatures, chances are that your pet has noticed the change of season as well. The Humane Society of the Black Hills is sharing some tips and tricks to help keep your furry friends safe, warm, and content throughout the winter months.
Ideally, the best place for an animal is indoors, but if you do have to keep them outdoors, now is the time to start preparing for that. So they need a shelter that is draft-free and is ideally lifted off the ground a little bit, just so it's not directly in contact with the ground. And then cedar shavings or straw is best to put in there. Blankets can absorb water and can get very cold on the animals, so a draft-free shelter.
The Humane Society is in need of cat food and kitty litter, but is always accepting donations of blankets, food, and most importantly, good homes for the animals that they house. Well, a little bit of a gray day outside today. Stay with us. Bob Riggio coming in next with a look at your full rest of the work week forecast, 1 day and counting until the weekend. He'll lay out our weekend as well, right here on NewsCenter1 Weather after the break.
When you see the Big Chair, you know you've arrived. Cousins Big Chair Pizza and Pub on Highway 385, 4 miles north of 44. Stone-baked crusts, local brews, spaghetti, and so much more.
Winner, winner, Cousins for dinner.
It's worth the drive.
Hi, I'm Ashley Berry.
And I'm Jade Berry from Someone's in the Kitchen in Rapid City.
We got started here 3 years ago. We always have loved it, and we decided that it would be a great opportunity for us.
Pioneer Bank was a natural fit for our business.
They help us with everything in our personal life and our professional life. Jim at Pioneer Bank has always been super honest with us, very helpful. We can call him anytime with any questions.
It's stress-free banking with Pioneer Bank and Trust. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
Fisher Home Galleries carries some of the finest brand name furniture in America and is home to the exclusive Flex Steel Gallery. With upholstered styles and your choice of over 1,500 designer fabrics to choose from, you will be able to create your own dream home at the guaranteed lowest prices in South Dakota. And best of all, the beauty and comfort is made to last. The Flex Steel Blue Steel seat spring and frame are guaranteed for a lifetime. Invest in better quality furniture at Fisher Home Galleries, where beautiful homes begin. On West Main and Rapid City.
The Honda for You sales event is happening now, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Honda Civic. Our best Civic yet was named a KBB.com Best Buy and is the best-selling car in its class. The Civic is also loaded with standard features. So hurry into your Honda dealer today, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Civic during the Honda for You sales event.
The greatest snow in the Black Hills at Terry Peak is right around the corner. Now through the end of October, lock in your half-price Terry Peak Season Pass. It's the perfect Christmas gift for all the snow lovers, including yourself. Enjoy unlimited skiing and snowboarding all season long with adult passes at $319 and junior passes at only $190. It pays for itself in less than 7 ski days on the mountain. Purchase online at terrypeak.com or call or come see us 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily at guest services throughout the month of October at Terry Peak.
Cousins Big Chair Pizza and Pub. Bring the whole family to enjoy a piping hot pizza. And now featuring spaghetti, soup, sandwiches, and desserts. Located on Highway 385.
Winner, winner, Cousins for dinner.
It's worth the drive.
This weather brought to you by Black Hills Power.
This is NewsCenter1 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
Well, we have some rain totals for you as of 6 p.m. this evening. Pine Ridge, 3,300s, 1,600s, Custer, 1,500s lead, and Phillip around 900s. We don't expect to see any rainfall amounts above an inch when it's all said and done. 900s at the National Weather Service, 1000s at the airport, and you can see we're still well above a normal as far as moisture is concerned. 58 was our high, 35 the low, 7:15 sun up, 5:57. 5:57, the sun will be going down. Don't worry about it. We won't see either one because of the clouds. 44 right now. We have some clouds out at the airport, maybe a little bit of light sprinkles. Winds are out of the east at 7. And here's the big picture. Here's our rainmaker, this low pressure area. You can see this widespread rain now moving across South Dakota. We're going to fly in a little bit, and I want to point out a few things. This is Colorado, and you can see with these northeasterly winds now, the snow is on the northern slopes of the Rockies here in Wyoming and down into Colorado because of that northeasterly flow. It's carrying the moisture to the mountains, and then it's lifted into the mountains to the colder temperatures, and that's changing over to snow. We have some video from Breckenridge. I showed it at 5:30. Let them get out of the way. They received about 2 to 3 inches of snow, and the ski areas up in that area are just smiling because they expect to open up a lot of the ski resorts in the next couple of weeks. So they got about 2 to 3 inches. Looks like it's going to stick for a while too. All right, let's come on back. Here's the big picture. There goes that low moving off to the northeast, and the back side of that wraparound rain will work its way across the Black Hills later on tonight. So we're not taking rain out of the forecast, even though it's drying up a little bit outside right now. But we still have to wait for the backside of that low, the rain over to the west. We have to wait for that to move from west to east across the Black Hills. Saturday, plenty of sunshine on Saturday. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. Here's a closer look at all this, and here's the backside of that low. You can see the upslope here, pretty much like what's going on in Colorado, but the temperatures are warm. We don't expect snow, but we do expect some lifting with the Black Hills. This is 9:30 tomorrow morning, so that's why we're keeping rain in the forecast tonight, tomorrow morning. But by late tomorrow morning, it's all to the east of us, and we are expecting to see some sunshine tomorrow afternoon, certainly on Saturday. Plenty of sunshine all across the state. The expected rainfall amounts, there you have it, heavier amounts in the northern hills because of that upslope as that low moves further off to the east, and you can see greater amounts of rain expected all up and down the eastern tier of counties. Here's the forecast. We'll have rain during the morning hours, clearing out by the afternoon tomorrow. 52 Spearfish, 51 in Custer, 50 Hill City, Deadwood 51. These numbers are pretty much like what we had today. 55 Belle Fourche, 54 in Sturgis. And again, a little bit of rain in the morning, but it should be clearing out by the afternoon. 42 tonight, and widespread rain, some locally heavy still. And then tomorrow we'll have some of those showers in the early morning hours. Should be clearing out by late morning, 55. A little bit of a breezy day. Northwesterly winds 15 to 25 gusts of 40, but everything should be clearing out certainly by the afternoon. Tomorrow night, 35, mostly clear, a little bit chilly. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15, gusts 30, so still a little bit breezy as well. Here's the 7-day forecast. 63 on Saturday, plenty of sunshine. 55 on Sunday, and again, partly cloudy skies and maybe a slight chance for a few little showers on Monday, but temperatures hold pretty much in the 50s, upper 40s on Wednesday. ClickBigDeals.com. Get $12 of delicious barbecue at Black Hills Barbecue for just $6. That's a 50% saving. So a little bit of rain moving across the Black Hills tonight. Nice soaking rain, something that we needed, and it'll be out of here by tomorrow morning, late tomorrow morning.
It's good to see that it was so persistent.
Yeah.
Into the nighttime hours tonight. We did need it. Thank you, Bob. Still to come, high school football. It did make for kind of a wet night as they wrap up the regular season for the high school players tonight. Justin with a rundown, all the scores and highlights from the Cobblers and the Stevens Raiders. Crosstown rivalry caught in living color. Next in NewsCenter1 Sports.
Never trick or treat on an empty stomach. Keep your little monsters happy. Just $8. Fresh made, fresh baked, fresh fun. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Scratch and save through Monday at all 3 Fearless Fisher stores. Use your money-saving Scratch and Save card to scratch and save 15, 20, up to 30% off your furniture purchases. Scratch and save 15 to 30% off on brand name sofas, sectionals, and reclining furniture. Scratch and save on dining sets, bedrooms, and select mattresses. Save store-wide. Plus, scratch off and save even more. And get 3 years interest-free financing. But Monday's the final day to scratch and save at all 3 Fearless Fisher stores in Rapid City.
Hey, Rapid City! Rushmore Honda's moved to our new location, and we're celebrating with huge markdowns during our grand opening sale. Shop over 150 used cars, trucks, and SUVs, imports and domestics, including over 50 Honda certified pre-owned. Buy a 15 Kia Sedona with leather, $25,000. That's $10,000 off original MSRP. Or an 09 Honda Accord EXL, $12,500. That's $1,500 below book. Expect more. Get more at Rushmore Honda off I-90 exit 60 on East Mall Drive, and always online at rushmorehonda.com.
Your everyday banking should never interfere with your everyday life. Bank West puts you in control of your money, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
A car gives you freedom, room to grow, and in time, room to grow up. Your dream car evolves, and protecting it takes committed support. American Family Insurance.
This is NewsCenter1, Sports with Justin Wickersham.
Well, the high school football regular season wrapped up tonight with Rapid City Central and Stevens facing off in a classic showdown at O'Hara Stadium. In fact, tonight marked the 53rd meeting between these two teams dating back to 1969, with Stevens leading the all-time series 27-25. Both teams had to deal with a steady rain throughout the entire game. Let's check out some of the highlights late in the first quarter now. Stevens' second goal from the 2. Brandon Susie on the quarterback keeper, and he punches this one in for the touchdown. The Raiders go up 14-0 at that point. Early in the second quarter now, the Raiders threatening again. On second and goal, George Johnson pitches it to Grant Youngblood, who runs around the outside and scores. And Stevens takes a commanding lead 21-0. On the Cobblers' ensuing drive now, Caleb Walton-Blandon on play action finds Ira Murphy over the middle. He's tackled at the 36-yard line after a gain of 18 yards, but Central would later turn it over on downs. Stevens with the ball now, Brandon Susie going deep on this one, and Desmond Donaldson with a great over-the-shoulder catch. He dives into the end zone for the 35-yard touchdown, and Stevens goes on to beat Central tonight 41-13. Moving up I-90 now to Sturgis, where the Scoopers entertain top-ranked Pierre. First quarter action, Scoopers facing 3rd and 12. Noah Wamsher rolls out of the pocket and throws it downfield. It's off the hands of Tanner Nelson, but into the hands of Tanner Bringle for a Sturgis first down. 3 plays later now, Wamsher with the handoff to Nelson. He breaks down the sideline and scores from 17 yards out. After the extra point, that tied it up at 7 apiece. The Governors on the move now. Brevin Kaiser to Isaiah Watson, who takes this one into Sturgis territory, but the drive would later stall. However, Pierre would go on to win this one by a final score of 34-14. Checking out other games on this final night of the regular season, Hot Springs improved to 6-3 with a win over Spearfish, 29-0. Plus, number 2 St. Thomas More finishes the regular season at 9-0 after shutting out Todd County 56-0. In other action, Belfouche knocked off Douglas 22-0, and Custer picks up a win over Lee Deadwood 17-0. Meanwhile, Mobridge Pollock falls to number 2 Aberdeen Roncalli, final score 41-0. Also, Red Cloud rolled over Crow Creek by 20, 26-6. Back to more action now. The New Underwood Tigers played host to the Wall Eagles this evening. Wall with the ball in the first quarter. Carter Elsher hands it off to Alan McDonald, who gives it to Riley Schreiber on the reverse, and Schreiber is pushed out of bounds after a run of 9 yards and a first down. Eagles again, this time Elsher gives it to Schreiber. He follows his blockers, but then as you can see, he cuts back and scrambles 35 yards down the sideline. That one into New Underwood territory. Then the Eagles coming up here finally cap off the drive with an 8-yard touchdown run. Coming up here, there we There we go. This one by Raiden Anderson. The 2-point conversion failed, so that made it 6-0. And Wall runs away with this one with a 36-0 win over New Underwood. In 9-man football, it was Lyman all over Kadoka area. 42-14 is your final score. And Phillip dropped its third straight. The Scotties fall to Stanley County tonight, 49-6. Elsewhere, Hill City snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 64-14 win over Newell. Plus 5th-ranked Sally Buttes down Potter County by 8. Final score 22-14. In other action, Faith wrapped up the regular season with a 34-point win over Bison. Also 4th-ranked Harding County, too much for Lemon McIntosh. Final score 12-6. And finally, Edgemont defeated Crazy Horse by 51 points. Meanwhile, Week 7 of the NFL kicked off tonight with an NFC West showdown between Seattle and San Francisco. The Seahawks won its first road game in 4 tries this season with a 20-3 victory. And that's a look at sports. We'll be right back in a moment.
Good morning.
Hey, your daddy's home. I bet you're happy about that.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as true American character.
My daddy wanted me to give you this.
It's what got us here. Thank you very much. It's what makes us great. And it gives us the chance to be even greater tomorrow. Shields.
What makes Liberty Superstores a dealership for the people? People with more insight, more options, more respect, more heart. We eagerly serve the frustrated, the hardworking, the people. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. And that's what makes us for the people. Liberty Superstores.
From picking the perfect color to our outstanding no prep, no prime formula, Menards and Dutch Boy make transforming your world easy. Go Dutch. Dutch Boy Platinum Paint. Available at Menards.
Can you identify this?
That's pot.
And this?
That's also pot.
How about this?
Laser pointer?
Lip gloss?
Highlighter?
This is a hookah pen. It's not a healthy alternative. It can be used to smoke pot, tobacco, and other drugs, including synthetics.
Would you pass the drug test? Find out more at parenttest.org.
Parents of more than 12,000 Rapid City children know that Safe Halloween is always the place to be for a safe and fun Halloween holiday. Central High School will be hosting this free event for the 3rd year in a row, this year displaying student talents along with the usual games. The committees in charge of planning that event have set a $5,000 goal to fund all of the expenses of the project. And if you'd like to help make Halloween a frightfully fun day for local kids, you can help by calling Central High School. Their number is 394-4063. Good effort, and hopefully there won't be snow to hide out from inside the warm confines of the schools.
No. We got some rain, though. We have some rain on the radar, but it'll be clearing out tomorrow morning, 57, and then dry this weekend.
That'll do it for us right here on NewsCenter1. For the entire team, have a great night.
$1. That's all it takes to start enjoying a membership at Planet Fitness. 4 quarters will get you the best equipment in our judgment-free zone. So join Planet Fitness now for just $1 down and $10 a month.
Join Planet Fitness of Rapid City in Rushmore Mall for only $1 down. Sale ends October 28th.
See VeggieTales like you've never seen it before, live and in person. Little kids do big things. Meet Bob and Larry and the entire VeggieTales crew. It's really a big show with all your favorite veggie songs. November 1st, 1 and 4:30 p.m. Rushmore Plaza Civic Center. VeggieTales Live. Little kids do big things. Get tickets online at gotmine.com, the Civic Center box office, or the Silverado Franklin. For show information, visit VeggieTales.com/live.
Your night just got a lot more fun. Craps and roulette are rolling 7 days a week at Cadillac Jack's with 10 times odds on craps. Cadillac Jack's is your best bet in Deadwood. Cadillac Jack's. How will your night play out?
On your mark, get set, punch it.
Get the ride of your life in the 2015 Nissan Altima. With blind spot warning and up to 270 horsepower.
What is not to love?
It's really comfortable. It fits to my body.
Nav, camera.
Choose Altima with 0% APR for up to 72 months, or for a limited time, save up to $35.25. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
$1. That's all it takes to start enjoying a membership at Planet Fitness. 4 quarters will get you the best equipment in our judgment-free zone. So join Planet Fitness now for just $1 down and $10 a month.
Join Planet Fitness of Rapid City in Rushmore Mall for only $1 down. Sale ends October 28th.